off, I would like to say all praises to the Most High in the name of Yeshua. We thank Him for giving us breath and another Sabbath in an effort to bring forth His Word. Okay? Now, I would like to say this clearly. Some people out there might ask why we don't teach some of the things you can normally hear in a Christian church. And the reason is, what would be the benefit of teaching what you can get on every pagan church corner in the earth? That's futile. If you want to learn what they're teaching in the church, then why did you leave the church? Okay, so some people ask why we don't teach certain things. Why teach what you know already? So we try to endeavor and go into the mysteries of the Bible and get and receive a higher understanding of the universe. Okay, so but if anyone asks us any questions on any other topic, we'd be more than happy to answer them. But the reason we don't teach what you can see in a Christian church every day is because you probably already know that. Okay? I don't know if there's something going on in the church where they repetitiously need to reassure the members certain things over and over again repetitiously. All right? What we try to do, we try to go into in-depth understandings and to give people an understanding of the universe and the world we live in, not information to have us cope in a society we don't understand. And that's what a lot of Christian churches, it's more pacification. It's pacifying you and having you accept your current scenario or situation without explanation and to feel good in total ignorance. All right? Not to say that that's all the churches do, because the communion, the coming together, seeing other people who believe, all those things are important. Okay? The gathering together, just the anointing of bringing people together, nothing, that's great. Even the entertainment part, to some degree, is great. But when it comes to the in-depth doctrine and understanding of the Bible, church is not, modern day theology in church is not the place to go to actually learn what's going on in the Bible. So, just to give an example of what I'm saying in an overview before I go into the lesson. Some people may ask, well, why don't we hear more of Christ when we see some of your lessons? The reason they ask these questions is because they haven't learned or read Christ's teachings. Okay? They feel if you cater to their spirit, and that's teaching Christ. If you just teach of love and just teach of peace and unity and harmony, the psychological profile on that, that's Christ according to what you learn in the churches. But Christ is truth. That's what Christ is. You can't put Christ in a bubble or in one spectrum of what Christ is and say, okay, this is Christ. And anything outside of this package.
Basically your opinion. It's not about your opinion. It's about reading the Bible. Not religion, the Bible. Religion lies, the Bible is truth. Doesn't matter what you think. You gotta read the Bible.
It's not Christ. That's what the Christian churches have done. All right? They have acted, and when we see some of your lessons. The reason they ask these questions is because they haven't learned or read Christ's teachings. Okay? They feel if you cater to their spirit, and that's teaching Christ. If you just teach of love and just teach of peace and unity and harmony, the psychological profile on that, that's Christ according to what you learn in the churches. But Christ is truth. That's what Christ is. You can't put Christ in a bubble or in one spectrum of what Christ is and say, okay, this is Christ. And anything outside of this package is not Christ. That's what the Christian churches have done. All right? They have actually put themselves within a cult of misunderstandings of the Bible in Christ. And they have built a wall or a barrier to say anything on the outside of this cult is a cult. All right? Let's see if we can get some understanding. Today, this evening, through the Spirit of the Most High, we're going to show you it's unfair. I'm going to say it's unfair because I think most people are ignorant when it comes to history to some degree, and it's not their fault. And I'm going to go into that. I'm going to show you why most people out there, and even the nations today, and the people who are waking up, are saying that the white man is the devil. I want to put that out there. Now, the reason they're saying the white man is the devil is when they look at current society and what's going on in the earth, they're looking at the hierarchy, and they see that the people who are controlling the earth at this time are primarily white people. And I'll say that's totally ignorant, because if you go into different times in society, when we were under the Persians and they were looking for our mass extermination and trying to kill us, back then we would say that the Persians were the devil, because they were the people trying to kill us. If we were under the Egyptian captivity, when they were trying to kill us and they was killing all the man-child, and they made a decree where the midwives in Exodus, the 1st chapter, were told to break the necks of all the young men that would come through out of the woman's womb. If we were living back in the Egypt's time, we would say that the Egyptians was the devil. It so happened that in 2nd Ezra 6 and 9 it says Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. To let us know that Esau would be ruling at the end of the world. So all eyes are on Esau right now. So that's why everyone is bringing out this thing, well, look what the white man did, look what the white man did. But I'm going to show you that through history, the white man is doing the same thing that all the enemies of Israel have ever done. Okay, and there's a spirit behind it. And this teaching will put us in a global understanding of what we are fighting against, instead of pointing it directly to color. All right? We're not wrestling with anything that we can see. See, it's easy to point to what you can see and use that as an excuse to blame somebody. But it's the unseen. That's our biggest enemy. And
They actually use that crap in a commercial.
And the unseen is being used by other nations. Yeah.
Not too long ago.
You got something? Okay. It's the unseen that are being used by other nations. And other nations in their hierarchy have used the unseen. It's easy to point to the white man now because we're at the end of the world, and it so happened that their rulership is last. All right? But I'm setting the stage to say, how can we trace the powers that be that are attacking us from ancient time to present time? We will attempt to do that this evening. So you can see the spirits that were over religion and over governments passed from one nation to the next, all the way to the present time, all to our present time, in our present, what you would call governments that are ruling the earth right now. All right? And this will give you more of a mindset of the earth on a global scale, on how powers change hands, how societies fall, okay? Why it's aimed towards destroying us. I hope to go into this to have you understand. We're going to use some history, and I'm going to throw some names out there. I'm going to throw some information out there. Some I can expound on, and some I'd rather not talk about, because I don't want people going into some of the wrong things. But I'm going to show you, through the Spirit of the Most High, how this happened. Where you have secret societies, powers that are in place, who will control.
Look at that.
By spirits and demons. And how
Bohemian Grove. Look that up. That's a real thing.
they developed secret society.
Bush, huh? Did you know that Bush funded H in World War II? People don't know that, huh? They're Satanists, man. They're all Edomites. According to the Bible, you're white, you're an Edomite. You're Roman, man.
Powers.
You gotta wake up. Eagle means Esau. Freemasonry means the symbol on the right, God equals Lucifer to them. So, hey, people gotta wake up, man. They're Esau, they're Edom, they're Romans. Esau is in the world. Top 1% that own everything, and their guy is Satan. So, people gotta wake up. That's the governments. Alright? Christ said in Revelation 2:9, I know a blasphemy of them who say they are Jews, but are not, but a synagogue of Satan. These people literally worship in synagogues. That's the name of their church. So, people gotta wake up. World is of Satan and all this stuff. And Christ is dark skin while wearing, and his name is Jeshaiah. That means my savior, ancient human Phoenician. Most of his old name is the High Shai, I am that I am. He said that to Moses in Exodus 3:13-14. Bible is truth, not religion. You have to follow laws and you gotta get baptized in Yeshua's name. And Christ is dark skin while hair. That's in Revelation 1:14-15 and Daniel 10:6. So, yeah. The line on Christ, the line by everything else. Jesus is not Christ. Jesus goes into the letter J didn't exist when Christ was alive, so his name couldn't have been Jesus. And the false image they put up as Christ is Caesar Borgia. Caesar Borgia or Caesar Borgia. Son of the Pope of Rome, the 6th Alexander. Son of the Pope of Rome, the 6th Alexander. And they put up the worst possible Roman, well, Jewish man, aka a Roman, as Christ. They couldn't have put up a decent Roman. They put up like the worst Roman. Poisoner, killer, murderer, homo, all that. So, yeah.
That are to control. Who will control.
Bohemian Grove.
How this happened. Where you have secret societies, powers that are in place. Controlled by spirits and demons.
Look at your Bohemian Grove.
And how they developed that relationship to deal with
It's a real place. Look it up. The owl and shit.
these spirits on a regular basis to control
all that shit, dude. Politicians, government.
us and eventually fight
PKK was the government as well.
against the elect.
Politicians, government.
Okay?
That's their target. Israelites, read it. Israelites.
Now, I have a lot of information, so I'm going to try to go through these things. And then
It's in the Bible. Psalms 83. Nations have crafty counsel against Israel, bro. It's like every nation, too. Edom, Ishmael, and all that. Edom being Jewish people, white man. At the top, the government, and Ishmael being the Arabs, Iran, Muslims. So
after I'm done, we can open it for questions for those who don't understand. And if you don't understand it, some things you may have to go back and look at the rebroadcast. Just look at a rerun or go back and study the clip, and a lot of information will come. But it all started at the beginning. And I'm going to show you how this knowledge that are attacking and destroying this earth, that actually will result in us needing a new earth, where this began and how it went from society to society up until our current day elites. Okay? Up until our current time with our elites in the earth today. Now, I need you to go to Genesis 3rd chapter. And let's start at the first verse.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
It says that now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. We understand the serpent right here is the fallen one. Read.
Which the Most High Power had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath the Most High said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the
That's the real Adam and Eve, by the way.
tree of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High hath said, Ye shall not eat of it.
So there was a fruit that the Most High
They're all dark skinned until Esau and the Canaanites that get hit with leprosy.
forbid Adam and Eve to touch. Read.
Neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for the Most High doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened.
Your eyes shall be what?
Your eyes shall be opened.
Your eyes.
Good and evil planted by Satan in the garden. The first drug, by the way. And we is the main component of that. So, but it's in every drug, like medicine. So, witchcraft in the Bible and New Testament, translated to the Greek, means medication, pharmaceutical, poison, sorcery. So, all drugs are bad, bro. Herbs cure all things. You don't need no drugs. They on TV, they got a commercial talking about you get thoughts of suicide as a side effect. It's not good.
Eyes shall be open, and when your eyes are open, what?
And ye shall be as gods,
You shall be as gods, read,
knowing good and evil.
knowing good and evil. So let's examine this. All right? Now, was Eve's eyes open, her physical eyes? Yes. So this is not talking about the physical attributes of seeing. This is speaking of being able to see and have knowledge on another level. And this other level is to be as gods. Now, gods, according to what the fallen one is explaining, is what he was. So there's knowledge when he fell that he had that was not introduced to mankind. Now, and when you take of this fruit, read,
Ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
you will understand both good and evil. Now, some people might say, well, what's wrong with knowing good? See, you have to understand
And that evil is sin and it's temptation. And it's probably a demon too.
the mindset behind the powers that are controlling the earth. If you understand character of good and evil, you can use psychology to control the masses. If you understand attributes, if you
Psychology is a form of sorcery. Magic.
understand what happens at a certain time of year, the
Mind manipulation and all that crap.
moods of people, you can control a society. So this was knowledge, not just how to embetter yourself. In the wrong hands, it could be used to destroy and to control the Most High's people. Listen to this clearly. Read.
Verse 6. And when the saw that the tree was good for food.
So she's seen it was good. She wouldn't took of this food or this fruit. Read.
And that it was pleasant to the eyes.
And it was pleasant to the eyes, not her physical eyes, because she could see physically even before this. That means idea. There was an idea, an understanding that was given to her that she didn't have prior. Read.
And that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise.
To do what?
To make one wise.
To make one wise. Now, what's the benefit of this? If you have knowledge of something, you know that the old saying, the old adage, knowledge is power. If you have knowledge of something, it automatically gives you an advantage over the rest. That's why she was able to trick Adam into doing it, because she had knowledge of something he didn't. Now, suppose we're living in a current day society where most people are dumbed down, but the people or the powers that control the earth have this knowledge that was given to Adam and Eve once they ate of this fruit. That would actually put a chasm in classifications of knowledge between the elite and the regular people. I'm going to show you how this agreement with Satan that was made when Adam and Eve fell was given to the elites of this earth to control and to fight against us. Right? Now think about this. Just imagine if the powers that be have this knowledge. Now the question is, did the serpent stop at Adam and Eve? The answer to that is absolutely not. Suppose this information that was given, or this wisdom that was given to Adam and Eve, was written in scrolls and passed from one civilization to the next to rule the masses. And yes, and suppose the elites and powers of this earth have this information, and it's the technology you see today. I'm going to prove that so, and I'm going to bring it all the way from the beginning up into our present day time. So the answer to that is absolutely yes. This knowledge of good and evil, or what you would call psychology, was used through all societies to control and to eventually destroy the children of the Most High. It's something deeper than that. You have the fallen one and his cohorts that fell from the heavenly realm, who now have lost the spiritual power to go before the throne of the Most High. And you know Lucifer promised to go before the Most High and take the Most High down. Let's go there. Let's go to Isaiah. And let's read the 12th verse.
Isaiah chapter 14 verse 12.
Read it.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
How did you fall from heaven, O Lucifer?
Son of the morning.
He was called son of the morning because he was a morning star. He would sing before the Most High. There's angels before the heavenly throne called the morning stars. And every morning, that's the music you hear at the throne. Well, the Most High hears the throne. They would come before him and sing every morning. Lucifer was the leader of this. Read.
How art thou cast down, cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven.
This is what he said in his heart. This is his promise, to go back above the firmament of the heavens, or what we would call the ozone layer, go on the outside of the ozone layer, which is space, which is actually heaven, brothers and sisters.
Yep.
Read.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. This is showing us something here. That these space programs they're making, actually they're taking spirits out there to inhabit different parts of space in their little machines. These spirits are trying to get off Earth. Okay, they're not looking for water on Mars. The Bible is telling us exactly what's going on. And see, mankind is in agreement with these spirits for the knowledge these spirits under the fallen one have given them. Read.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation and the sides of the north.
The sides of the north is due north, as far north as you can go. That's where the Most High is. But the Most High understands, listen, he's millions and millions of light years away from where we are. So there is no physical technology that can get Lucifer here to the north, to where the Most High is. But he kind of figured that he could make an agreement with the elites in this earth to use the earth as a tool and its technology to help him get to the north in that last battle against the Most High, the Creator. Now this is what he's thinking. And the elites are in agreement with it. This is what they believe, brothers and sisters. They believe that if they can help Lucifer regain his original form, that's why they call him the Enlightened One, the Illuminist, that he will get the power to give them immortality. This is what our elite and government powers are taught. This is what they believe. Read.
Verse 14. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
See? He will be the Most High. He will be like the Most High. So he wants that original position he tried to get before the Most High hurled him. So he's trying to get back his original form. And he needs mankind to help him. He was banished to earth. Okay? And through that, he's subject to the laws within this earth. So even if they need to destroy the earth to get the resources for him to fulfill his oath to get back before the throne, this is what they will do. This is what they are doing. Now, so I can't put the cart before the horse, because I said that I would go into some key information to let you see how this moved from one society to the next. Let's go to Ephesians, the 6th chapter.
Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
Read it again.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
Our real fight is not against flesh and blood, brothers and sisters. So it's a diversion. If you would just point and say, well, the white man is the devil. Okay? Or this man is the devil, or the black man is the devil, or the Persian man is the devil, or the Egyptians are the devil. It's futile because these powers that are controlling the earth, what I would say people, are only slaves to the spirits and demons who have given them technology. Now, what they're doing is not right, and there will be a judgment for what they're doing because they are complicit to mass genocide and the promotion of sin all through the earth. But, all in all, we're not wrestling with flesh and blood. Okay? When Christ ran into a person that was vexed with a spirit or a demon, he didn't really deal with the person. He dealt with the spirit that had the person bound. And we tend to point to the people opposed to the spirit that's controlling the person. And then wonder, well, why don't we have power to cast out spirits? Why can't we do certain things? Why? We don't even recognize that it's not the person but a spirit. So how can you think about having power to do anything when you don't know what you're doing? It's like not having a profession, or you're a doctor or you're not a doctor, and you're going in and you've been placed in a room, and now you have to do open heart surgery. It's impossible because you haven't learned anything. And that's by the same token when we talk about, well, why are people not doing casting out spirits and doing certain things anymore? Why? They're caught up into this modern day, what you would call education, and they've been diverted into understanding that we're not wrestling with flesh and blood. That there's spirits on people that you must recognize first. And see, this world have us focused more so on what we can see. Paul was telling us, Christ was telling us, listen, that's not our real battle. Don't get caught up with the diversions. Another thing, I don't mean to go off the beaten path because, you know, sometimes I do, but I want to say this. This happens the same time when you're being attacked or someone's going against you and all that. You divert the whole situation by actually entertaining it and going back and forth with it. Because you're not wrestling with flesh and blood. There was a spirit that compelled the person to do certain things. And that's why Christ says, well, if they try to do something, turn the other cheek. Don't react to anything someone is doing, because now the spirit can now control you. So you can't react to a spirit. You're not wrestling with flesh and blood or a person. We're wrestling with spirits. And we're going to show you how these spirits have been allowed to run rampant in the earth. Someone might ask, well, why would God allow this to happen? I'm going to show you. Man had power in the earth. Also, man had power of choice. Now, what happens if the powers that be in this earth understand how to actually conjure spirits in the earth for their particular purpose? And I'm going to go into that.
People be saying that crap all the time. It's my choice. It's my choice. It's not your choice, actually. You don't have the understanding and the knowledge. Guys, people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. If you have the knowledge and understanding of what your choice was, it will the result be the full ramifications of your choice? You would not have chosen that. People don't have the understanding, and they're too prideful to admit it too.
So you want to blame the Most High
program sheep
for something man is doing. Man have power to conjure in spirits, to conjure spirits. I'm going to go into that. This is going to give us a higher understanding of what we're fighting against. And let me tell you, I don't know whether or not they're going to let this video stay on, because we're going to go into some names, some dates. We're going to go piece by piece as much as we can to show you who's behind the evil and who is connected with Satan, and where was these meetings? How was the scrolls of the tree of good and evil passed down from generation to generation? We wrestle not with flesh and blood, read it,
but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
Against the rulers of the darkness of this world. So there's rulers that are not people in this earth. Read.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Against spiritual wickedness.
Go read in the Bible, Prince of Tyrus. Then right after they're talking about this Prince of Tyrus, this man, right? They go right into Lucifer, because Satan possessed that king. So a lot of these government higher ups be demon possessed. So
Yes, in high.
Pope, black smoke ritual, same demon from Pope to Pope. Babylonian satanic ritual.
Places.
That's how they pick their popes. But that shit is definitely not in the Bible. No black smoke, white smoke ritual, picking the pope and shit. That's not in the Bible. That's satanic. That's Babylonian. Babylon is a satanic place, fulfilling Satan's will and all that, with Nimrod, Semiramis, and Satan. Semiramis being human fallen angel, Nimrod being the king, left Tammuz, and Satan. Tower of Babel. That's mostly all religions and holidays, Babylonian too. So.
Verse 13. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of the Most High.
So only Christ can give us this armor that can fight against the unseen. Our battle is not with the physical. We cannot be diverted. I don't pull out the nations and Edom and the other nations so that we can focus on them. I pull it out because Paul told us that that man of sin must be revealed and then the end shall come. So we did this to show you that, listen, we must reveal the powers that are controlling this earth that made the agreement with Satan to take on the tree of good and evil, to execute this plan, and they are complicit with the fallen one against the Most High and his people, and they are helping through ingenuity and technology Lucifer and his cohorts to fulfill this prophecy leading to the battle of Armageddon in the heavens. So we have to reveal who's doing this. But it's not our focus to try to say, well, let's look at them, because we can't fight against them. We cannot fight. Our fight is spiritual. Now, what are the tools?
Can't fight no damn government, because these governments are satanic, all of them. The Bible already shown what will happen if you try to fight against the Roman government. You get destroyed, killed.
Those that are fighting
That's really what they want. Really, it'd be easier to find us and kill us. So,
against us. What are their tools? We're going to go there. Before we go there, what gods? Let's get the one in the Apocrypha real quick to show that all nations have a God over them. But the Most High became the God of the Hebrews unless we yield ourselves to their gods. So we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but there's high rulers we can't see in the spirit that control the world. And for those who, what I would say, worship the gods, get knowledge and technology to rule the rest of the ignorance, what I would call the unknowing people in the earth, the people that just don't know. You can't call
it's true.
Ignorant, they just don't know. So you have those that are willing to make an agreement with these gods, even sacrifice people, whatever they need to do.
That's what they be doing. This is exactly what they be doing, bruh. Right here. On your stupid satanic holidays, they be doing this shit. Moloch sacrifice. That's literally their flag. Jewish people. White flag, blue satanic pentagram, star of Moloch, child sacrifice, satanic sorcery, satanic pentagram. In the Bible, Amos 5 Acts 7. Star Renfram or Moloch. It's another names for Satan. So that's what they do. It's on his freaking chest. 5-pointed, 6-pointed, the same shit. Satanic sorcery, satanic sacrifice, it's just Satan. That's what they do, bruh. This is what they do. They still do it. Ain't nothing new.
Certain knowledge to have power over people.
Satan, fallen angels called blood sacrifice, bruh. This is what they do.
These people are so power hungry.
Abortions and all of this. Orphanages. That's what they be doing.
And so...
to sometimes even their own fucking children, bro.
Their ambition leads them to want to control other people. Okay? And with that...
I hear all those stories from, like, it'd be all kinds of stuff. Indians doing it, then you got, like, the royal family with their daughter, with the dragon doing it, all kinds of stuff. And that's where freaking, what is it, like the princess in the building, then there's like the man in the suit of armor trying to get her out. That's like a callback to Sacrifice 2, because there usually always be a dragon. Like that's Moloch sacrifice. The dragon will usually kill the and that's symbolism for Satan. So
particular ambition.
There's a lot of symbolism to this. Like there's symbolism to all this satanic shit everywhere, bro. even beyond Moloch sacrifice. All kinds of symbols.
They get an agreement with the fallen one and say, okay, we'll give you knowledge and technology, but you have
Technology we got, all fallen angel tech, so all this shit. Well, they're giving us the shittier stuff because they got the real shit, bro. Hell, they even held back some things to poison the earth and to keep us enslaved, like the electric car and all this. No oil, no nothing, just free energy from air. They're holding all that back to keep us enslaved, the government. So, government is satanic. And they are destroying the world.
to help me do this.
Destroying the world, trying to destroy Israelites. So,
You can control these people
I'm trying to get back up into heavens, I guess.
because they're going to die anyway. I don't care about them. I'm trying to get to the heavens. Are you in agreement to help me do this? Now, this is the real agreement that goes down. Let me show you this. Chapter and verse in Ecclesiasticus.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 17, verse 17.
Ecclesiasticus 17 and 17 in the Apocrypha. Read.
For in the division of the nations of the whole earth,
In the divisions of the nations of the whole earth. That means every nationality of people. Read it again.
for in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people.
He set a ruler over every people. That means there's a God over every nation. Whether you be, just say when the Lord divided the earth into bounds. Ham, Shem, Japheth, Ishmael, all these different families, Syrians, Elam. There was a God or a fallen God placed over every nation. So that's the understanding of worshiping idols and gods. And so you can prosper or to get rain or get any similitude of peace within your bounds, you needed to reverence the God who was over you. All right? This is the history of your idols and your worshiping of fallen angels.
Yep, Paramount Plus. You got the mountain, Mount Hermon, Mount Graham, the thin veil between heaven and earth. Then the stars are angels, according to the Bible. So they came down. Genesis 6:4 had sex with woman, taught man sin, like magic, wars, metals. Had sex with a woman, made giants, Nephilim. Also had to flood that earth. Because humans, his creations, his animals, from the beginning, man was about to go extinct, though.
Again.
It shows you what Paramount Plus, right there. They go right back to the Bible. Fallen angels with it, bruh.
For in the division of the...
And their Prophetica. Prophetica is basically the Bible. It's the first 14 books that's out of the Bible. That they took out of the Bible on purpose, and they renamed it the Prophetica when it's literally just the Bible. If you go to Roman Catholics, their Bible's got the Prophetica in it. It's not even called the Prophetica, it's just the Bible. So, that's how they're trying to keep knowledge away from us. There's 80 books in the Bible, not 66. So, you got the King James Version Bible plus this, which was originally inside the Bible. Like, the 1611 version has this in it.
nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people.
He set a ruler over every people. Read.
But Israel is the most highest portion.
But Israel is the Most High's portion, which means the Most High allowed an angel to be over every nation, but not the children of Israel. All right? Now, he's our God. He's the children of Israel's God. So there's no need for an angel to be over us. Now, what happens when Lucifer gives them the understanding of good and evil, and they realize that they can get above the rest of society if they link in with that angel that was put over them. If they can find out who that angel is and worship that angel and conjure that angel and get an agreement with that angel. Now you have
5-point star, 6-point star, same shit.
people connecting with the unseen. This is what's going on in the earth, brothers and sisters.
That's what they be doing. Don't think they don't do this shit. They do it. Trust me. All those damn missing people, missing children. You think that's by... Man, that's the damn government, bro. I'll tell you that right now. Aliens, government. Fallen angels are aliens. There is no aliens. They're just fallen angels. UFOs, government. It's the technology they get from doing this crap from fallen angels. So when you see this alien abduction stuff, cryptids, it's all just the government and they're doing this. Trust me. It's just a fact of reality. You don't have to believe it. It's just a fact.
This is why people sacrificed to angels.
Missing people. The legit missing people gotta be like 1 out of 9 of people legitimately lost. Most of that shit is the government. Trust me.
They sacrifice normal people in society. This is the reason people get kidnapped. You don't know
Chrome and all this other
they are,
stuff.
and they get sacrificed in little dark cellars.
They're trying to blame it on some criminals or gangs or cartel. It's the government. It's all the government, bro.
This is what's really going on.
Blaming somebody else for what they're doing.
They're doing this for prosperity and knowledge and power over the population.
Jewish people that obviously own everything. Because the Jewish people own everything. So, art, media, Hollywood, news, our government. So,
okay.
Hell, our government is mostly Jewish. Anyway.
Bringing this on the lowest. I'm trying to go as low as I can to have us understand.
But yeah, peace. The Bible says when they say peace, they mean war. That's in the Bible.
What side we need to be on. Now,
Jewish people are Romans from Esau. They're not Israelites. They're Satanists. God is Satan, so that's why they have the Star of Satan as their flag.
The tools.
We're all Israelites. Deuteronomy 20:68. Slave ships in America be sold them in because we broke the law. So even Christ is dark skin while we're so. And black people aren't African. They're not Ham. They're Israelites from Shem. So they're just both dark skinned. So we're not African. We're Israelites. Africans are Hamites. So
that the adversary used against us. Let's go to Deuteronomy 18. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 10.
Deuteronomy 18 and 10. Read.
There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire.
Read that again.
There shall not be found among you.
yeah, I wonder why the Most High is telling Israel not to do this. It's almost as if all the other nations be doing it.
Anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire.
The Bible says Gentiles or every other nation outside of Israel, because Israel got laws. The Gentiles, what they sacrifice to devils and not to God. And I will not have you partake in the temple of devils. All right. So if you're not following the Most High in Christ in the Bible, the real Christ is shy, they're skinned while we're here. The Most High, Ahaya, not some religion, Christianity, garbage, paganism. You're following Satan involuntarily. You're following.
No one amongst the children of Israel that will have his son or daughter to pass through the fire. Now, why did the Most High give us this law? See, unless we understand this,
This is what these governments be doing, bruh. If people didn't do this, why is this a law? People do this shit. Wake up.
You don't have a grasp of how society works, especially a society that was given into the hand of the wicked. He was telling us this is because the other nations figured that if they sacrifice people to that God that's over them.
Yep, you see this in all medias. You see this a lot. In movie shows, TV shows, movies, animes, you see this shit.
They would get blessings because they were willing to sacrifice one they love.
That's what they think. They're getting finessed.
Almost similar to how the Most High told Abraham to bring his son, his only son Isaac, for a sacrifice. All right? So the other nations do this. They do.
Most High didn't allow him to do it, obviously. Because Isaac had Jacob, and Jacob is 12 sons of the 12 tribes of Israel. So it was tempting Abraham to see how far his faith would go. because only Satan will require real blood from your children. So, obviously,
blood sacrifice to their God that's been set over them for prosperity. All right? And what they...
That's why that Baphomet statue was Satan. Got those two kids there. Sacrifice.
did was they slowly but surely integrated this in society.
That statue is both genders, by the way. Transformer.
Where it's normal. This is a normal play in society to keep their power. There's a certain amount of children they must sacrifice each year. And what do you think Planned Parenthood is?
Yep. Planned Parenthood. That's abortion. And abortion is murder according to the Bible. And there's a specific judgment for that. Scientists lie, because all spirits are born before they're physically in this world by the Most High. So when they say all that garbage, or it's not there, blah, blah, they're lying. So it is a form of Moloch sacrifice. So Planned Parenthood. You know who started Planned Parenthood? Was it like Margaret Sanger or something? She was like a KKK Satanist trying to exterminate all Israelites, black people. That's her idol. And look at her position. She ran for president. A Satanist, a devil. So people gotta wake up. That's why you got the foundation and you gotta do your research. Because how is she running for president? Before. Look at Kamala Harris, same thing with her. Look at Obama, look at all these people. Like, they're all pagans, Satanists. But, like, that's what they are.
Read. Or that useth divination.
There's some more tools that fuse the adversary and those that are on the wrong side of this. And those that are on the wrong side of this. Listen to this clearly. First of all, sacrifices is used. Second, read again.
Or that useth divination.
Divination. That means divining. Okay? Telling the future. You notice all these things are normal in our society? And they promote it to us as regular choices. You can go somewhere and get your palm read or get your future told.
You see this crap everywhere when that's satanic sorcery, dealing with evil spirits, which the Bible says not to do. It's sin and it's satanic.
These are all tools embedded or actually embedded in society for us to live.
Society is fallen angels taught this. Zazel and shit. Genesis 6:4. But yeah, man, society is satanic. It normalizes sin and paganism. So holidays, religions, they're all pagan, satanic, worshiping Satan, and Bible is truth, not religion. And Christianity has nothing to do with the Bible. The Bible is not religion because they don't teach you the Bible at all. Nothing.
Really partake in. Here's tools.
Hell, Christianity lied on Christ by giving you a false image called Caesar Borgia, a dead white man right now in the grave. He ain't nowhere. If they're gonna do that to Christ, they'll lie about everything else.
In our everyday life.
The worst possible Jewish man, aka Roman too, not even just a regular Roman. They picked out the worst Roman for Christ, the false image they put up as Christ in Christianity. So
that you walk by and you see. Read.
Or that useth divination, or an observer of times.
An observer of times. You got people who can try to tell the future. They go into different levels of telling you what's going to happen, like Nostradamus. Nostradamus was a top sorcerer. We're going to go into him also in a moment. Top sorcerer, Nostradamus. Read.
Or an enchanter.
Or an enchanter. You got people who put enchantments on people, like charmers, and does different incantations.
people actually do that, bro, and it's all real, by the way. They do all that shit.
These things are normal on the wrong side of the Most High, under Lucifer. you're going to find out all these things encompasses the tree of good and evil. This is what Satan
First drug.
produce in the
All drugs stem from that, especially weed.
earth to his elites, to those that are under him, to control the masses. Okay, and to them it's good to have all this knowledge, this science, this understanding. It's good, right? To them. Read.
Or a witch.
Or a witch. Okay, a witch is a female conjurer, a woman who would be behind all types of sorcery and witchcraft and do different potions. Okay, now I know some brothers and sisters don't know that
Medication, witchcraft, right? You said witchcraft? Witch? In the Bible, the word witchcraft means pharmaceuticals and medication. Don't take none of that crap. Herbs kill all things. Cancer is a vitamin deficiency, bro. That's all it is. They lie about all that crap, obviously. The knowledge of this world is foolishness with the Most High. They're liars. They lie about all of that. You can't go to these hospital healthcare system. It's a death system. All right. Turn on the TV, look at the ads. Some medicine, 30 side effects, including thoughts of suicide and death. So it's not good. So yeah, don't believe nothing they say, bro. Just follow the Bible.
Your government pumps out witches and warlocks every day, and they put a white jacket on them and call them doctors.
Told you. Witch doctors giving you fucking spirits on a bottle. Because Ham, Shem, and Japheth, Noah's kids off the ark, they're being attacked by demons and they're getting sick. Like, sicknesses are demons. People don't even know this shit either. So, and the government makes all this shit, controls all this. Like, and they give it to you. Injections, pandemic. People gotta wake up, bro. The shot, having teenagers die of heart attacks, blood clots, and all this. Like, come on, man. People gotta wake up.
Okay? These were what you would call wizards and witches in old time, where they would know what ingredient to use to poison you, or to get you well, or to do this, and you can feel a certain type of way.
What was it called? Birth control? Birth control was a potion or some type of magic when the fallen angels came down and taught man sin and had sex with a woman and sinned and fornicated with a woman. So people don't know that either. So that's just satanic as well.
Those were your doctors. But they were called witches and warlocks. Today, they're called practicing doctors. Okay, but they're warlocks, they're witches. Read.
Or a charmer.
Or a charmer. All these things are needed in a society in order for the fallen one to fulfill his promise and to control the masses and to destroy us. And the Most High told us, stay away from all these things. Read.
Or a consultant with familiar spirits.
Here's another thing. This is knowledge that was given to certain people the nations had to be able to connect with familiar spirits. Calling spirits, trying to call spirits from the dead. Yes.
You don't know that every human spirit goes to await judgment in the middle of the earth. There is no damn human spirit on the earth. If you're communicating with something, it's a demon. Straight up. They can shapeshift and do all this stuff. They can possess you, get your memories, shape. They can do all this stuff. It's not your family member. It's not your ancestor. It's not none of that shit. It's a demon. And demons are Nephilim, dead spirits. So people are stupid. Like, this is why you don't get drunk or high or do drugs. Because people do this while they're drunk. I hear this all the time. Like, we got drunk and we used the Ouija board. It's like, my God, you probably let a demon loose in your house. You can't see it. Movies lie. You will never see it. But, I mean, people It's not like the movies, bro. It's not like the movies. Demons can be in you, and it's more of like a trigger or a mood swing or a mindset. It's not really like anything else. Like, people don't get it.
This is a lot. See,
Like, a demon would just like make you a pagan. Like, you would just throw away the Bible or something. Or have anger issues. You turn gay. It's all kinds of stuff. It's not direct. It's not direct like the movies. Like some, I don't even know, bro. I don't even watch any of those movies. You won't see nothing. I'll tell you that.
some brothers and sisters don't know the knowledge that was actually given from the beginning. The knowledge that Adam and Eve was able to partake into. And I'm going to show you that our elite had this understanding and was able to market this and put it in society in an effort to destroy us. See, but they knew we would wake up too. They knew we would wake up to the game and what they were doing. So they targeted our genocide at the same time that we would wake up. Okay? Read.
Or a wizard.
Or a wizard. That's a male witch. That's like your witch doctors over in Haiti, over in Africa. These different, your Pope, your cardinals, your bishops that are over the Roman Catholic Church. These are all wizards. Read. Or
They got the damn star, a fucking Moloch. That's the biggest sorcery symbol you can possibly get. Satanic pentagram. Put that shit on the wall or some shit. Circle around it. They'd be doing.
necromancer.
or a necromancer. Let's get necromancer in the Hebrew. And some people might ask about, am I saying doctors or witches and warlocks? Absolutely 100%. When you go into the word,
Dealing with drugs is sorcery, so. First drug is, I mean, they can be ignorant to it. I mean, at a certain point, you're not ignorant no more. When during a pandemic, or somebody comes in, you give them the damn injection, then all of a sudden they got all these problems come up when they were fine beforehand. These nurses and doctors, they see that shit. They might be ignorant at first, but when they start giving people these injections and they start turning worse and getting bad, like when they were fine beforehand, you can't deny that. And if they don't quit their freaking job because they're kind of unaliving people, they're the culprits. They're a fucking I forgot the word, but they're in on it. They're selfish. They'd rather keep their job than just
sorcery.
no morals. I
The word is pharmakeia. Pharmakeia is pharmaceutical.
Babies. They do the same shit with babies, bro. Injections, giving them like autism and all this stuff, or just killing them. I have to say injections because I have to speak in code, so I won't get struck down. But yeah, man, baby fine, injection. Oh, you need to get this, and this. All of a sudden, there's problems after the injection. So don't go with these healthcare systems, bro. They're death care systems. Don't take no injections, bro. Oh, herbs cure all things, man. You don't need no drug. And people die for lack of knowledge, so.
So they are sorcerers. They are prescribing you medication or potions. See, back in ancient and Druid times, in Celts times, in ancient Babylonian times, they were called potions. Now, they're called drugs. Okay? Let's get necromancer.
Necromancer.
Go ahead.
Hebrew reference H 1875.
Go ahead.
Darash. A primitive root properly to tread or frequent, usually to follow, for pursuit or search, by implication, to seek or ask, specifically to worship. Ask at all, care for, diligently inquire, make inquisition, necromancer. Question, require, search.
Yeah, get that one too. Here's an example of a necromancer. There's certain units within the CIA and government in which they would have these witches and these warlocks. They put them in the room and they'll ask them certain questions to find someone that's missing, to go and seek someone out that been buried or got killed and who killed them. These are actual people who have linked into the spirit of necromancy who can actually do this. And these units are within police.
There's something else. What's that shit called? Remote viewing. That's part of it. All kinds of shit, bro.
In CIA. Okay, so these things must have been prevalent in society with the Gentiles if the Most High made a distinction and told us, listen, these are the people I want you to stay away from, and don't do these things because you must link into fallen spirits to have this particular power. Yep. The power I will give you.
That's another thing. They do some of those major hallucinogens or whatever, like mushrooms or something. Government powers, they get on that too to communicate with these fallen angels and demons and shit that people call aliens. They're just fallen angels. They use that to communicate with them too. They get possessed and all that, bro. So
it's different.
That's a whole nother reason not to. The Bible says to stay sober-minded. That's a whole nother reason. Other than your body being destroyed, that's a whole nother reason not to take drugs.
The power I will give you will be through faith and through actually what you would call necessity. Why did the Most High part the Red Sea? Because it was needed. We needed to get through the water.
Yeah, the Most High. It's funny. Some dude, some pagan. This guy did not believe in the Bible. He was arguing with me. How did Moses split the Red Sea? Bro, you can't be real, bro, saying that shit, dude. Like, people like that, they don't want to believe in the Bible if they really think that. Alright? Obviously, the Most High did that. Most High in Christ did that shit, bro. Like, Moses didn't do anything. Moses was just at home. Most High in Christ is the one that freaking had that sheep run off, and he followed it, and he stumbled across the burning bush. Like, it was all the Most High. Moses didn't do anything, really. Like, Most High in Christ works through man. So when people start saying that, bro, it's like, okay, bro, you don't want the truth. You don't want to learn.
To get to the other side before Pharaoh killed us. So that was through necessity.
Another proof of the Bible right there. In the middle, at the bottom of the Red Sea, is chariots, Egyptian chariots. You can't make that up. Chariots, like the horses and all of that, the caravans are like, bruh. I don't think no horse was swimming in the middle of the Red Sea. They were following them, and the Most High closed the ocean on them. That's how they're in the middle. That's one proof right there. Archaeological proof of the Bible right there. Just one.
Okay? It wasn't just because the Most High wanted to do a magic trick. Alright? And that's the power we have through necessity if we link into Christ. But we are not supposed to go into these practicing to conjure spirits into their psychology to be able to do these particular things, because you take on a spirit. You take on a demon. Now that the demon has power over you and you're a slave to this demon operates in different parts of your life. You just invited this spirit in, but it don't stop there. It don't stop with you being a necromancer or a witch. Something comes with all that. It's your soul. Chapter and verse.
1 Samuel chapter 28, verse 1.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass in those days that the Philistines gathered their armies together for warfare to fight Israel. And Achish said unto David, Know thou assuredly that thou shalt go with me to battle, thou and thy men. And David said to Achish, Surely thou shalt know what thy servant can do. And Achish said to David, Therefore will I make the keeper
Most High. He died, and all of Israel lamented or cried for him. He was a great prophet of the Most High. Read.
And buried him in Ramah, even in his own city. And Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits and wizards out of the land.
So Saul was behind taking all the wizards and the necromancers and making sure they were outside the city. They couldn't become part of God's areas. They were banished. Read.
And the Philistines gathered themselves together and came and pitched in Shunem. And Saul gathered all Israel together, and they pitched in Gilboa. And when Saul saw that the host of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled.
So he seen the Philistines, and he thought that he would lose the war, and he was afraid. Read.
Verse 6. And when Saul inquired of the Most High answered him not, neither by dreams nor by Urim.
Yep, he ran right to he ran right back to those damn sorcerers, bro. That's crazy.
Nor by the prophets.
Real history, bro. That's crazy.
Every which way he tried to get some information from the Most High, the Most High was not delivering any spirit to him.
It's a temptation. It's a well, it's not temptation, but it's seeing if you're gonna sin or not. Because he just went right back to the witch, which he should have never did.
Of understanding that he was
Read this.
with him. So what did Saul do? Read.
Verse 7. Then said Saul unto his servants, seek me a woman that hath a familiar spirit.
You go find me a witch.
Yeah, that's insane work. I'm not gonna lie.
Read.
That I may go tell her and inquire of her. And his servant said to him, behold, there is a woman that hath a familiar spirit at Endor. And Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment. And he went and 2 men with him. And they came to the woman by night. And he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee.
So he disguised himself with 2 guys and went to this witch and said, listen, I want to call someone from the dead. I'm going to give you the name, and I need you to conjure this spirit for me. Now, Samuel was dead at this time. So before this, Saul would get advice from the prophet of the Most High, Samuel. But now Samuel was gone. So he sought out a witch who had the power to do this. Read.
Verse 9. And the woman said unto him, behold, thou knowest what Saul hath done, and how he hath cut off those that have familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land.
He said, you know that Saul, because he
Familiar spirits, evil spirits, demons.
was disguised. And she said, you know that it's against the law for me to do this, because we're not supposed to do this. We've been banished. Read.
Wherefore then layest thou a snare for my life to cause me to die?
So what you trying to do? Set me up? Read.
Verse 10. And Saul sware unto her by the Most High, saying, as the Most High liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing. Then said the woman, whom shall I bring up unto thee?
Who do you want me to conjure? Read.
And he said, bring me up Samuel.
Bring me up Samuel. Now, just imagine this, brothers and sisters. Now, she did it. She called Samuel's spirit out of Hades to communicate with Saul.
Yeah, it's in the middle of the earth. If you read Christ's resurrection, it's the calm side and the hellish side in the middle of the earth. That's not the judgment yet, but you're awaiting the judgment. So, but that's pretty much in Hades, yeah.
And Samuel spoke and said, listen, you
It's just not hell though.
shouldn't have woke me up, but I'll tell you what, you're going down. You're going to lose. You will die through this. But I'm just showing you a part of what we're wrestling against. The people that are over this earth, that are in your white...
Yep, that's what they do, bro. That's just an example of what they do. They go to some witches and they conjure shit up, get some knowledge and power, technology, and all this stuff from fallen angels and demons. That's what these governments be doing, bro.
House, that are in Buckingham Palace, that are in your high government places. This is what they do. Now, just imagine that they had the power to call some of the most evil and vile rulers of our past for information. They do. I don't want to get too deep up in here. Let's go to Daniel's, the second chapter.
If Saul did that, they're still doing it. Some Jewish guy literally said they were doing it. Underground with the bed sheets, bloody sheets, underground Jewish people and all that. And this Jewish man was like, "Oh, we're trying to bring back the Messiah." It's like, nah. They're doing satanic sorceries, trying to communicate with the fucking dead. That's what they're doing. Just like Saul did. That's what they're doing. And it's on TV, on the news, it's been documented. So they said it. People just don't do the research, but they're sorcerers. And they lie. They try to make an excuse like, "Oh, we're trying to bring back the Messiah." It's like, dude, first of all, he's not dead anyways. So that goes to show you how much they believe.
This is the belief system. What I'm showing you, brothers and sisters, are the belief system over all religion in the earth. You notice in the Christian church, there's a thing where people shaking and screaming and speaking in unknown tongues and spitting on themselves, and the music is playing. I'm going to show you what that is about also. And how through religion it's ritualistic. It's all rituals. Smoke going on and in the Catholic Church, and idolatry and music going and organs going. What is this all about? I'm going to show you. Read.
Daniel chapter 2 verse 1.
Daniel's 2 and 1. Read.
And in the second year of the reign of
Babylonian rituals. Not in the Bible. Nothing to do with the Bible.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Now I'm going here to show you how from society, they were dealing with certain spirits. Now think about this. Even in ancient Egypt, Moses would do a miracle, and the Egyptians, their wizards, would do a miracle. To show you the Most High.
Yep, you got the Most High, the Creator. Then they got whatever they're dealing with, the Egyptians. They're dealing with some demons, devils, and damn fallen angels trying to copy the Most High.
Power versus the fallen one's power. It didn't just stop with Egypt. Once the Most High took down Egypt, Satan packed up his bags and got another empire ready to go against us. And another power-hungry ruler who would actually get ingenuity and technology from him to eventually come against us.
Look at the idol in the background. That's the idol right there. That's what idol is right there, man. Sin, graven image.
And I'm saying this to say, if we just focus, listen to me clearly, brothers and sisters. If we just focus on the white man, we are totally off base in understanding.
Then we can't just focus on flesh and blood. There's spirits and there's demons in these people, bro.
The biblical concept. Okay? I'm going to tell you, if most white people knew what the elites were doing, they would fight against what the elites are doing.
Yep.
Believe me.
There's always the governments. Top 1%. They own everything. The richest, the government is them. It's not every white person.
I don't think they would be able to stomach the child sacrifice. I don't think a lot of them would be able to stomach them calling up an old prophet from someplace or some old demon from someplace to give them information. Most white people can't fathom that. Okay, not anyone. If we understood what they did in dark corners, in dark places, in these little secret chambers they have, all over the earth. Read.
and in the 2nd year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams,
Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams, read.
wherewith his spirit was troubled, and his sleep brake from him. Then the king commanded to call all the magicians, and the astrologers, and the sorcerers, and the Chaldeans, for to show the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king.
You see that? Now the prophet Daniel, now you wondering, what is this doing in the prophet Daniel's book? You have to understand that a president or king's cabinet is filled with these spirits the Most High said don't deal with. These kingdoms are set up under the fallen one. So they get their information from the fallen angels, demons, spirits. This is where they get the information. So it was just second nature for him to say, okay, give me a few wizards over here. Bring some sorcerers. Give me some necromancers. I need someone to break down this dream, because why? All nations have an angel over them except God's people. All nations have a God
They got the creator over them, bro.
over them except the children of Israel. This is their regular way. We go pray to the Most High, the God of heaven, the God of all gods. They go pray to these spirits that have empowered them over us. This is how this thing worked, brothers and sisters. Now, they couldn't answer this, of course. Daniel was able to come and break down this vision of the empires that would, and then he was shown empires, but Daniel was able to break this down. The wizards could not.
Those are Gentiles and pagans, by the way. Those empires.
Just showing you, here's a king who get his counsel from all that the Most High told us to stay away from. This is how your presidents work, and I'm going to show you. This is how your kings work. When your president, Barack Obama, got in office, who do you think they surround themselves with? The biggest sorcerers, the witchcraft. Let me tell you, Hillary is more powerful than Bill. She's a top witch. All right? And she's been used through many cabinets. She was on the scene after Bill wasn't president anymore. Still on the scene doing
Planned Parenthood. That's more or less sacrifice as well.
things. And look where she is now.
Right.
Okay? Top witch. She's more powerful than Bill Clinton. Top witch. Another guy. Here's a guy that many presidents have. Every president had this guy.
Remember Epstein's Island? Bill Clinton and shit like that?
As their, what you would call, international.
Goddamn, everybody went there. Like, everybody. Actors, movie directors, sports players, celebrities, rappers, singers, everybody. Actors, comedians, all.
Brzezinski, the one that was behind what you would call setting up Afghanistan and all what's going on with them to topple Russia. The foreign administration under Brzezinski. And if you look at this guy looked like he crawled out of hell. This particular guy was the advisor for all the presidents almost since after Lyndon B. Johnson. What is this dude hanging around for? He's one of the top wizards. Okay? And now he's sitting with Barack Obama. All right? Now, I need you to go to Isaiah 19 and 13. All right? Isaiah 19 and 3. And we're going back to Daniel, the 9th chapter. We're going back to Daniel's the 9th chapter right after that.
Isaiah chapter 19, verse 3.
Read.
And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits.
Yep. They'll go right to the damn witch. The warlock.
And to the wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord.
They'll go right to the demon. Instead of getting knowledge from on high.
See that? So it says, so what did the Most
Trust in the Most High, they'll go straight to a demon.
High do? When he destroys a society, he take down all their evil counselors. This is how societies go from one power to the next. You have your seers and all of them in place who can see all these different things. Therefore, your society is protected, because if you have a magician or a necromancer or a wizard that come to you and say, well, you got to do this or they're going to destroy your kingdom, then you're going to follow your counselor. So the Most High darken their seers before there's a change of society. That's how one empire fall, then another empire rises. And those spirits that was once controlling this empire will go to the next empire. Why? Because if there's no change in hands, the people will start getting knowledge and topple the whole thing. So eventually it goes from one empire to the next. And I'm just dealing with this on a political scale. But all in all, it's the Most High doing this, leading to the fall of all the nations, so that Israel can rise. We're not to partake in their ways. We're not to go get our palms read. We're not supposed to be dealing with astrology. We're not supposed to be dealing with any of...
This is a real Israelites, by the way. Jacob's 12 sons, physical bloodline, no religion, no conversion, physical bloodline. Jacob's 12 sons.
Those things. Our protection is the full arm of the Most High.
Obviously, you don't see Jewish or Esau, Edomites, none of that. They're Jewish people are Romans from Esau.
In Christ. That's our protection. If we want to find out what's going on in our lives, we must seek the Most High. All right? Now let's go to Daniel 9 real quick.
Daniel chapter 9, verse 26.
9 and 26. Now when you go read Daniel 9, it primarily goes into all the powers and this one spirit that would come up in the earth, which is the spirit of Antiochus Epiphanes, which would destroy the children of Israel. Now, as you can see, when you read Daniel 7 through Daniel 9, it talks about the Babylonian Assyrian captivity, the Persian Medo captivity, where the nations were destroying us. And it talks about...
That Cohen looked like a Nephilim or a giant too, by the way.
It talks about... Matter of fact, let's get that. Where it says the king of Persia withstood it. Then we're going back to Daniel's 9. Daniel's 10, the water brother. Daniel's 10. And let's start at the 12th verse.
Daniel chapter 10, verse 12.
And I'm showing you how this understanding that all the rulers get, how they get this from the left-hand side, and that this happened all the way up until our present time with Barack Obama, the Pope, all of them. Listen to this clearly.
Then said he unto me, Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand, and to chasten thyself before the Most High, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 120 days.
He says, but the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 120 days. Now, that means Christ was sent to take down the Persian Empire through the Spirit to raise up the next kingdom that would come. After the Persian Medo Empire, you would have what empire? The Grecian Empire. But on the spiritual side, he was contending with this spirit for 21 extra days to show you there's a spirit over every nation. So this God over the Persians was fighting to keep the Persians in power. This is what we don't see. This is the unseen.
Yep.
Read.
Persians, modern day Muslims. The father Ishmaelites, Ishmael.
The prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 120 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me.
So now Yeshaya was doing his thing behind closed doors, fighting the king of Persia and going against his spirit that will allow the Grecians to rise, to the point this Persian God was so was so starch and adamant in staying in power, Michael came.
Yep. It's also withholding prophecies as well, because there's obviously prophecies, and obviously these fallen angels say it and they know the Bible. So the fourth beast in Daniel, going from Persians to Ishmaelites to Iran to Rome, the end is coming, and Satan and them will be judged. So they know that. That's why they're trying to stop prophecies.
To help him take down the spirit of Persia so that the Greek Empire could be fulfilled. Hope y'all can see this. So this is what goes on for one empire to fall and another empire to reign in its stead, to come in its stead. And when the other empire comes, guess who goes over with the next empire and gets into the next king? Yes, the fallen one. And say, listen, I can give you knowledge to see, both good and evil. I can give you everything, but you got to help me do this. And then all his sorcerers, necromancers and wizards and all of that goes with the next empire, Satan's cabinet. Hope you're following me here. This is how this thing happens in the spirit. We see it in
Persian, the Grecian.
the physical.
And the Grecian, Roman, and they're really the same. Pretty much.
Something happens in the spiritual before there's a change of powers. Okay, let's go to Daniel, the 9th chapter. Yeah, you can read it. Go ahead.
Daniel chapter 10, verse 20.
Go ahead.
Then said he, Knowest thou wherefore I am come unto thee? And now will I return to fight with the prince of Persia. And when I am gone first...
Read that 20th verse again for me.
Verse 20. Then said he, Knowest thou therefore that I am come unto thee? And now will I return to fight with the prince of Persia. And when I am gone forth, lo, the prince of Grecia shall come.
See that? He says, he says, Daniel, I'm talking to you right now. But now, soon, I'm going to the prince to finish fighting with the prince of Persia. And then after that, the Greeks will come on the scene. The Greeks are next. Now look at this. See, if brothers and sisters know this, then they just can't point to a white man or this man. It's all in the hands of the Most High. Okay? The powers that be cannot help the time that was prophesied that they would be in power. If we were living under the Persians again, and the way they were treating us, and they tried to mass exterminate us during the time of Esther. If we were living under the Persians, you would have brothers standing talking about the Persians are the devil. They're the devil that the Torah and Tanakh speaks of. They're just focusing on one empire and not focusing on the grand scheme. Okay? Now, let's go to Daniel's 9. With Daniel's 9? Let's get it. Daniel's 9 and the 26th verse. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Daniel chapter 9, verse 26. And after 62 weeks.
After 62 weeks, given a time, because Daniel is wondering when will Israel be delivered, and he's given a time period here. Read.
Shall Messiah be cut off?
That's talking about Christ being crucified. This is what Daniel is being shown. Read.
But not for himself.
But he's not dying for himself. He's dying for the sins of the children of Israel. Read.
And the people of the prince.
And the people of the what?
And the people of the prince.
And the people of the prince. Who's the prince? Hold that. Hold that. And let's get John. Let's get the prince here. John 12 and 31.
St. John chapter 12, verse 31.
Read it.
Now is the judgment of this world.
Now is the judgment of this world.
Now shall the prince of this world be cast out.
And
Prince, fallen angels, principalities, fallen angels. And the Bible says this is Satan's world, so I'll just say that.
now shall the prince of this world
Satan deceiveth the whole world.
be cast out. Christ talking about? The prince of this world, the principalities and the powers of the air. The prince of this world is the fallen one. Now let's go back to Daniel, the
They're
9th
still falling.
chapter.
People call them asteroids and shit. People call them aliens. They're fallen angels. That's what they are.
When it talks about, when it says after the people, when it talks about Christ being killed, but not for himself.
And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off,
The crucifixion,
but not for himself.
but not for himself, but for the children of Israel. Read.
And the people of the prince,
The people that are being controlled by Satan, that have power under Satan. Read.
that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary.
So if you want to know who the people of the prince are, they are the Romans. They are the people who came and destroyed the sanctuary, which means the knowledge of all that evil since the beginning is now being passed to who? The Romans. Now we didn't track this serpent from the beginning through all empires. Now, he's with the Romans now. To do what? To fulfill his original promise. Read.
And the end thereof shall be with a flood. And unto the
And it
end,
says the end thereof shall be with the flood. When you go into Revelations, the 12th chapter, it talks about after they took us down, that we fled into the wilderness, and a flood followed after the woman. That flood is your religion, your witchcraft, your sorcery, all the things the most.
Yep, the lies that they teach us in society, in the paganism, in the religion. They give us holidays, they give us the lies, they tell us, they program us, society.
I said we cannot partake in. Read.
and the end thereof shall be with a flood. And unto the end
From Babylon, bruh, and holidays. It's all Babylonians, all satanic.
of the war, desolations are determined.
And they will continue to do this until they.
The Bible has nothing to do with no religion and no holiday. No holidays in the Bible, and the Christianity, Roman Catholic, whatever. They don't teach you the Bible at all. They don't.
Make Israel desolate altogether. That is the plan of the fallen one and his cohorts and the societies who are in agreement with the fallen ones. Okay? Hope you're with me now. Now let me give you some overview of how this thing spread through history. During the time of Persia, when all the spirits were operating with him, with the fallen one in Persia, and I know y'all seen it under King Darius and different kings of Persia. Listen to this clearly. As a matter of fact, let's get that. Get me Esdras. First Esdras 3. Start at the first verse. Esdras 3 and 1.
First Ezra, chapter 3, verse 1. Now when Darius reigned, he made a great feast unto all his subjects, and unto all his household, and unto all the princes of Media and Persia, and to all the governors and captains and lieutenants that were under him, from India unto Ethiopia.
Unto who?
From India unto Ethiopia.
Read.
Of 127 provinces. And when they had eaten and drunken, and being satisfied were gone home, then Darius the king went into his bedchamber and slept. And soon after, that were with the guard that kept the king's body spake one to another, Let every one of us speak a sentence. He that shall overcome, and whose sentence shall seem wiser than all the others, unto him shall the king Darius give great gifts and great things in token of victory. And to be clothed in purple, to drink in gold, and to sleep upon gold.
Let's see what happened under King Darius after things was fulfilled, after someone brought a wise saying and said, well, if I give you this wise saying, I just need you to help me build the temple that was fallen. Now don't forget, he's saying the temple that was fallen because it fell under the Babylonians. And now Persians are in charge. You got Ezra saying, you got the prophet saying, well, listen, We need to build the temple again. Go to 1 Esdras 4 and 45, and let's see what happened here.
First Ezra chapter 4, verse 45. Thou also hast vowed to build up the temple.
You vowed to build the temple, read.
Which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldees.
So who burnt the temple in the past, even when we fell? The children of Edom burnt our temple.
Yep. Which are Romans, which are, in the Romans today, are Jewish people. So they're the ones who destroyed Jerusalem, destroyed the temple, just killed Christ, killed his disciples, and all destroyed Israel. And supposedly now they're Israelites. Now all of a sudden they're Israelites. Like, no. And they're a child they're Israelites and they're a child of God and they believe in Bible and Christ, and like, no they don't. They hate Christ, they hate the Bible. Alright?
And I wanted to show that.
They follow Satan. And look at them too. Do the research. Look at their practices. Look at their flag. Look at all this shit. It's all satanic. And none of it's in the Bible. They're in the Bible as being Romans. And that star, their flag, is in the Bible as being Satan. Satan's star. Josh sacrificed Moloch and all this. Sorcery.
Read the 50th verse.
So it's definitely being Israelites.
And that all the country which they hold should be free without tribute. And that the Edomites should give over the villages of the Jews, which they then held.
So now, the Edomites started taking our
The Edomites, which are Jewish people today. They're not the real Jews.
lands back then, but they had to give over some of our villages once the Persians decreed this. Now, of course, the Persians
Esau became Edom when he sold his birthright for a piece of red meat. Edom means red because Esau was red.
did this to the Edomites, and the Edomites didn't feel good about this. They didn't feel good about this at all. And you can imagine when the opportunity presented itself that they would take them down. Who are them? The Greeks.
Yep, Greeks as the Romans. And Isaac's son was Jacob and Esau. And Esau became Edom when he sold his birthright for a piece of red meat. Birthright, Abraham's covenant with the Most High. So now he went to Mount Seir with the Canaanites, which was cursed with leprosy, so they turned white as snow. They were black. Everybody was black everybody was dark skinned until Esau. You married to that family, that's how you get your Caucasian. Or this, right here. Then these people became the freaking Romans and Khazarias and Jewish.
So you need to understand this geopolitical battle.
These people didn't go nowhere. They're in Israel today being called Jewish when they're just this, Romans. That's
happening here in the Bible. And how we get to the times we
all
are.
Romans are. Zeus, Odin, blah, blah, blah. Those are all fallen angels. Those are all demons. Zeus is another name for Satan. Alright, like, they follow angels. They're pagans. They're following Satan, bro.
Are today, in which now the European powers, which is the Edomites, are now destroying those over in the Middle East. This battle didn't just start with our time. They'll make you think that this thing just began. I don't know if I'm going too far off the beaten path, but I had to get that out there. Let's go to 1 Esdras 8 and 69.
1 Esdras chapter 8, verse 69. The nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, and Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land.
Because it told us in old time, which was Deuteronomy the 7th chapter, that these people that are dealing with all these different practices and exercises, if you don't stop them, it would actually overrun society.
Yep. It's the same thing with sin equals death back then, before Christ, right? Because the demon, because when you sin, there's like a demon. That demon will overrun the community. So that person would have to die. That's why it was implemented. That's why that's the law. You know what I'm saying? It's not just there for no reason. So, you see something?
is the Edomites, are now
away from them the strange people of the land.
because it told us.
Okay.
When your question is actually a bunch of questions.
When's the best time this weekend to host a Beck?
I'm not gonna lie.
And destroy the children of Israel. So the Most High was telling us to stay away from them because of their gods. And this happened again. It says the nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, and the Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land. Read.
Nor the pollutions of the Gentiles.
What's the pollution of the Gentiles? All their evil that's in our society, destroying us and demoralizing us daily. Read.
To wit, of the Canaanites,
You had the Canaanites,
Hittites, Perizzites,
the parasites,
Jebusites, and the
the
Moabites,
Moabites, Egyptians.
and Edomites.
These are all the societies that had witchcraft and sorcery and that was linking up with Satan to destroy the children of Israel. You think that changed? Didn't change. It just went from one society to the next. Now, during the time of Persia, and it's crazy because they teach this in college. If those that are with the college, they try to tell you that, well, part of your vocation is to start learning the different cultures of the world, and they give you a book where you got to learn Zoroastrian, Buddhism, Islam, just different factions, and really what they're doing is indoctrinating you into certain things they want you to endear yourself to, because there's ideas in each of these religions. You're following that God that's over the nations. But understand what this shamanism was. This shamanism was actually scrolls from the past that was translated from the Babylonian time. And it was scrolls of Persia. And it was called the working of the chariot. With this particular literature, the Persians could understand good and evil. It was from the beginning, and they would control those that are in their empire. Okay? This is information, scrolls that was used in Persia to keep Israel in check.
Yep, true good and evil planted by Satan in the garden. It's from that.
They were ruling over us. And once the Persians were taken down, guess where this information went? Went to the Greeks. Now, there's more. Let's do this clearly. During the Dark Ages, they had this guy named Abraham the Jew. He was a top magician. This is during the Dark Ages now. While our people were ruling in Europe, you still had factions of Europeans who were there from the Dark Ages, which you would call, under Judaism, which were called the Serpent People.
Yep, Khazarians, Khazaria.
It was Abraham.
Khazarians. Romans from Esau, bro. Jewish people today.
And he had information. This information was later translated.
Yeah. Because the Khazarians, which were called serpent people, they converted into Judaism, Jewish. So it's a conversion. It's not actual physical bloodline. Because it's Israelites. That's a physical bloodline. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Jacob's 12 sons, Jacob's 12 tribes. You can't convert into being an Israelite. There's no conversion. So, yeah. Those are not Israelites. They're Romans.
Out of the Latin into French, and it was called the Goetia. Now, the Goetia is the teaching of good and evil. Now, top witchcraft is in this particular book. And it also, they use this to summon spirits and to control the masses' emotions. And they would do this in private.
Satan too, and that's the Golden Bull. Wall Street, Egypt, and Israel today, the Golden Bull. The statue of a golden cow, golden bull with horns and stuff. Horn god Satan. That's Baal. That's another name for Satan. Satan has many names. Babylon, Tower of Babel, Satan, Ramesses, female fallen angel, and Nimrod Tammuz. They all have different names depending on the religion, language, location. It's all the same. Alright? It's the same demons being worshipped from Babylon. Just their names change. That's why the Bible says Satan has many names. He's a great deceiver. And this is their flag, by the way. Look at that crap. That's their flag. And they have BL that they have an idol of BL, the Golden Bull. And they have that as their flag. Like, people don't even know this shit, bro. It's blatant. It's in plain sight.
Chambers and private political councils of what you would call.
You be seeing that crap in movies, like The Hidden Room and all this. That's like Freemasonry, secret society rooms. That's not some hidden room for whatever the movie you're watching is for. It's actually satanic secret places where they go and do all that satanic garbage. Orgies, sacrificing kids, or whatever the hell they're doing. So,
Masonry at that time. Yes, the conjuring of spirits to get information on how to rule a society, where to build, how to keep the people.
You don't know that cross is so true too. That's an idol. The cross has nothing to do with no Most High in Christ. So, look at the Germany 1940. That's a cross folded up. So.
In check. This is the information that's passed
And those
through.
Germans are Edomites as well. They have the eagle. Eagle is the sign of Edom. They're Edomites as well. So there's no German just because they're from Germany. They're Edomites, just like Jewish people are. So, and Holocaust means burn sacrifice, and they're burning people. So what do you think they were doing? Moloch sacrifice to Satan, bro. That's the whole point.
The elite.
So they're
All
the
right.
same people. They're not different.
Now, a little after that, you had Reginald Scott in the 1500s who wrote a text. His text was a knockoff of that, and it came from a book called, I'm not going to go into it, but it's Zoroastrian information. It came from Persia, the people who ruled over us. And it used sounds and music to conjure spirits.
Using those snakes. That's what those damn. I don't know what their name is. They be messing around with all these snakes and shit, dude.
So they used music. Don't forget, Lucifer was the singer.
Yeah, I forget. Morning Star that sung every morning, and he's a musician and shit.
The morning star who sung before the Most High. So certain tones they understood can control people through vibrations and sounds.
That music, bro. That rock.
Now,
That rap. Controlling you through vibrations and frequencies, bro. You gotta watch out. Can't be listening to all that garbage.
the Jewish people, back during the Dark Ages, that are bringing that old witchcraft and magic into regular society. And the information that they use that was passed down to the Bushes, the modern day CIA and all them, is called the Grimoires. It was translated out and it was called the Grimoires, where you can control.
A lot of those drug commercials be doing that shit. Subconscious and all this stuff. You listen to it.
People through sorcery, witchcraft, necromancy, sacrificing. All these things are in this particular book, and they learned how to put it in society. They were taught how to make it a mainstream part of society. They would use movies, they would use anything to actually have society accept evil as the norm.
Look at that. Just death, sickness, demons, all in there. Destroying your mind, your temple. That's what that is.
Also, in the book, it taught them what type of flowers and what type
From the Tree of Good and Evil planted by Satan. You don't need no drugs, bro. Do not take no damn pills.
of drugs
No,
to use
no fucking.
and to find, to harbor, if you want to control the people under hallucinogens. All this was in the book. This is the book the CIA used. This is the book your government used. There's no such thing as illegal drugs. They need you drugged up.
Yep.
So that you can be susceptible to these particular demons and spirits. This is what we're fighting against, brothers and sisters. Now, this particular oracle this guy came up with, which is in our modern day high-level masonry, was shown to European aristocrats how to conjure spirits in their councils for directives on how to control the masses. So it's not, these guys are sitting down at the table, it's not really the council. They're just some dumbed down guys that's looking to be controlled by spirits. This is what we're dealing with here. And they deal with all types of rituals, okay? And with these rituals, the spirits enter the room and tell them their threats and what to do to stay in power. We're not wrestling with flesh and blood, brothers and sisters. On a whole nother level, we're dealing with a demonic occult that's over society, that's looking to destroy everyone. And guess what? They don't care. They know the earth is going to be destroyed. That's the whole point. Because in order for Lucifer to get up to the heavens, they must rape the earth of its resources to give him the technology to fulfill his promise to go to the heavens. So they don't care about earth.
It's too hot, huh?
So let alone you. Let's go to Revelations, the 13th chapter.
Revelations chapter 13, verse 1.
Read.
And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea,
Go ahead.
having 7 heads and 10
And I
horns.
went into that the other day to show you that the beast is the Roman Empire. Satan went from all those empires, and now he's over the Edomite empires, which is primarily Europe. Read.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns. Read.
And upon his 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the names of blasphemy.
The name of blasphemy. So all the evils that the Most High told us to stay away from is now linked to this particular power, the European faction and powers who are ruling the earth today. And see, people are so concentrating on that they just focusing on that and not the powers that are controlling them. So they know the white man is the devil. He gotta be the devil. He's the one doing this. Why would he follow this? Listen, every empire that was in charge followed Satan. Let me tell you, I'm not diminishing their role in the powers that be's role. But I'm not going to focus on that and not understand that there's a bigger spirit that we must fight against. Because those guys are just puppets. They're just puppets. Okay? Read.
Verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet as were the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power.
And who gave him his power?
And the dragon gave him his power.
Who gave them their power?
And the dragon gave him his power.
Their power is from Satan. Their power is from these spirits. Now, reeling this back, during the time, going around after the Dark Ages, when you get around the 1800s, okay, when you get around the 1800s, you had a guy that started dealing with the memoirs, and he was from Britain, and he started taking it over to America. Okay? So don't think Nikola Tesla was this great scientist with all this understanding. No. Nikola Tesla was a high occult Satanist who was getting information from demons. Okay? They needed the HARP system. The HARP system was actually dealt with through Tesla so that they can send out vibrations to control people, to control moods, to change moods. This is all part of their science, their sorcery, their witchcraft. This is what the Most High told us to stay away from. That if we're under Christ, it have no power over us. So Nikola Tesla wasn't this smart scientist. He was a top wizard who got information on how to build certain weaponry to control people. Okay? Later on down the line, they got Aleister Crowley, who was a top demon who they found in a room, in a hotel room, butt naked, screaming, because the demons obviously overtook him. He bit all his fingernails off.
Yep. Then Nikola Tesla's house, he had that same star in Jewish, the flag, the same satanic pentagram everywhere, or all around his house. So it's sorcery, communicating with demons for knowledge. So
before he died, because the demons that was giving him power eventually took him. They was using him on the music side with the same books that was from ancient times to be able to pray into the music, to send vibrations to cast spells over the world and use music to do
rock metal. That started with fucking rock and all that, with Kiss and all that, those demons. Started with rock at first.
Okay, so they learned how to take ancient technology that was controlling the world or controlling certain isolated areas and make it where it can be a worldwide, what you would call spell on the whole earth. They took Hollywood and they took music and they took drugs, and all these was an idea of the spirits to destroy us. Okay? It's a lot of information, so I'm trying to just go in an overview. I don't have all that time. Okay? So, this is what get us to the place where we are today. When you have the elite that don't care about people. The initiations and oaths that your government officials must take to actually assume office. They take an oath with Satan. And when they get in their private little conclaves and their private little temples, they worship the fallen one. They get their technology from demons and fallen ones. Okay?
It's in Ezekiel as well. When Ezekiel or Daniel, one of them, when the Most High was showing the prophet, like, look at the abominations they do, thinking I can't see them. They're like underground, these secret rooms, underground, these mansions that go, secret rooms, and all this other stuff, not in public. Most High was like, they think I can't see them. You know what I'm saying? Like, Most High can see all that crap, man.
Those that are in the electoral system that pledge to the flag and that actually believe in it are actually on a low level complicit also, because their spirits empower the satanic system.
Exactly. This whole American spirit, America. This is Babylon. It's satanic. Dar Babylon was destroyed by the Most High because its wickedness is satanic. Where NASA comes from, Satan's will, trying to build a Tower of Babel to go up in the heavens to fight the Most High. Had the whole nation under MK Ultra, had with one thought, one religion, one mind. Then you got freaking America, spiritually Egypt and Sodom and Gomorrah, scamming homosexuality and all this. Egypt with its slavery, captivity, systematically genociding us and all this crap. Policies to destroy us, like people.
And Satan, whom they're praying to.
That's in the Bible.
Okay? I want to show one other thing. So this information, Nikola Tesla, also Aleister Crowley in the 1800s started bringing it with the Beatles music. The Beatles had it. Michael Jackson started dealing with it. Babyface started dealing with it. All these people started dealing with getting these spirits over their music. Okay? And that came from ancient time, even before the flood, under Tubal-Cain. The work of brass and using music to send forth certain vibrations. You notice in the churches. When the music goes, everybody goes into their convulsion. It goes into their spirit. Their emotions come to life. And when the music slows down, everybody just stop. They slow down. And no one perceived that they're being controlled by a spirit. No one can see that it's a spirit that's in the church that have overtaken your emotions. The Greeks call it the god of Bacchus. Bacchus. That was the god of music that come in and have you lose yourself in the music.
And that's also speaking in tongues, too. It's also speaking in tongues. Because you need a translator. You can't just be speaking in some unknown language. That's Bacchus.
What we're wrestling with. We're not wrestling with flesh and blood, sisters and brothers. We're wrestling with spirits. So this is what, there's other things, but I want to go into that. I'm going to go into the war tomorrow, but I wanted to give y'all some history and oversight.
The devil went down to Georgia. picture remind me of Guitar Hero.
According to scriptures, how this thing and this witchcraft
Freaking what's that dude named? David Johnson or some shit? Crossroads or what?
passed from generation to generation.
So was told to be good at music and died like so soon after that.
And now we're here, in a time in which the Most High told us not to deal with these things, are a regular part of your society.
Yep.
One last
Is normalized. Paganism normalized. All this satanic, evil ass shit is normalized in society.
thing before I go in.
This is just society. People try to uphold the government. Like, who made society? The government.
And answer some questions.
Who's controlling the government? Satan.
They dropped it in the movie Devil's Advocate years ago.
I guess I might watch this shit, I guess. There was that one movie with Tom Hanks in it. With some, secret society. That movie's true, too. And then 1998, 1997, 1998, I think. And that film director died, like, literally, like, right after he made that movie. Because it was exposing everything they be doing. Secret societies and shit. So, I forgot what that one's called. I think the promo, the cover is like some mask or something.
Look at all the guys that so-called, what's his name, Al Pacino, was actually, he was a defense attorney, or had a defense firm, because he was showing the people that control the law firms. Who are they? Think about this. They was dropping it. And that defense, these guys were defending people who they know was guilty. But without these, a society cannot go. So you remember when you had that guy sacrificing for the rich and the powerful, the black Levite? That was sacrificing, and they was trying to lock him up, and they came and defend him so that he can continue to do his witchcraft and sacrificing, because they need him in society to do that. Remember the guy that was a pedophile that was raping kids and was found, and they got him off? They need people to do that. That's part of what keeps their society going. Because
I'm pretty sure it happens a lot, man. All these sorcerers, pedophiles, they get let out, man.
their sacrificing and their ritualistic behavior is what empower their society. Now, some people get caught, and so they have to go through the process. But really, this thing is being done on a mass scale all over the earth, not just in America either, brothers and sisters. In the Middle East, I seen something today where a rabbi even admitted that, yes, we sacrifice little Gentile kids every year, and we put the blood in the matzah balls. For Passover, we eat the blood of you Gentiles. That's what gives us power. And, of course, we're not cannibals, so what we do, this is what he said, we'll just send your body, your dead body of the kids and people we killed, to the butcher houses and get you ground up into your sausages and your McDonald's food.
Yep.
And we'll just feed you to yourselves.
Oh, he's talking about that interview, I think. But yeah, that's true. They had these two Jewish people interviewed, or like a conversation, and they're like laughing at us because we're eating people and stuff in these fast food places.
Having your children go under the fire. This is the real world. This is what we're wrestling against. These sick, sadistic, satanic people. And the only way to overcome it is to overcome ourselves and put on the full armor of Christ. So brothers and sisters, don't be out there talking about the white man as the devil, okay? Any society that had power are being ruled by the devil. Every last one of them. So happens now, all the nations, because you had Ishmael and Edom at the pinnacle, now the other nations, Ishmael is being double-crossed now. That's your Arab Spring going over there, and I'm going to go over that tomorrow. and they are about to topple Syria. This is scripture, this is Esdras, and we'll be going into that tomorrow during the Sabbath, the Arab Spring. But I wanted to let y'all know so we can bring this in, put it in its proper context, how these spirits were able to go from one place to the next, and the records on how to control the earth, even under the CIA. The CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, is not what you would call a regular agency that's being controlled.
Esau. If you see an eagle, that's Esau, bro. That's Edom. Romans, Greeks, Jewish people, they call themselves today Satanists.
By people. It's demons at the pinnacle of the CIA. It's a Central Intelligence Agency. So the question you have to ask, what are they, the center of what?
Oh, eagle. Pretty sure, isn't that the U.S.'s ammo or something? I forgot. That's what they be doing, bro. Yeah, I'm about to end it. Bible is truth, not religion.